Welcome to the Deep Dive, brought to you by Native Ear. I am your host, and today we're doing something really practical.
Yes, something you can use, well, maybe even tonight.
Exactly. We are focusing entirely on real-life communication.
Which is really the whole point, isn't it?
It is. We are putting our phrase books away, and we're getting ready to, well, to eat out.
My favorite topic.
We are going on a deep dive into the language you really need when you're at a restaurant, trying to decide what to eat.
Or making suggestions, describing the food.
And describing the food, whether it is absolutely fantastic or maybe not so great.
Right. How to be polite about that.
By the time we finish this deep dive, you won't just know a list of words.
No, not at all.
You will actually have the fluency to use specific phrases, to ask for and give restaurant recommendations, and to do it naturally.
And you'll master that social skill of describing food and politely saying no thanks to a suggestion.
Yes, using that real, everyday American English.
And this is a big one,
Yep.
especially if you travel.
Oh, this is so important.
You're going to understand some essential vocabulary for your own safety, including the critical words allergic and food poisoning.
Our mission today is pretty straightforward. We want to guide you step by step so you can understand, remember, and then, apply this English immediately.
And naturally in your daily life.
Okay, so let me start with this. A hook question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how to politely say that you don't like a specific type of food? Without offending the person who suggested it.
That is a tricky social situation.
It really is. And we are going to teach you a fantastic phrase for exactly that today.
That's a good one.
So if this lesson sounds like the exact tool you need for your fluency journey, please take a moment right now.
Please do.
Like, subscribe, and share the Native Ear channel with your family and friends. When you share it, you make sure that you and everyone you know won't miss any of our useful lessons.
We really appreciate it.
And joining me today is an English instructor and an expert in helping learners get to that real fluency through practical application. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm really thrilled to be here. Confidence in English, it so often comes down to mastering those common, everyday social situations.
Right, the small things.
The small things. And few things are more common than figuring out where to eat.
Yeah.
So we are going to make sure that you, our listeners, feel completely ready for that conversation.
I agree completely. And I have to admit, I sometimes struggle myself to sound polite when I'm rejecting a suggestion I really, really don't want.
We all do.
So that key phrase we're teaching today, it's something I probably need to review myself.
A good reminder for everyone.
Okay, let's unpack this. Before we listen to the full real-life dialogue, we need to make sure you have a complete foundation for understanding.
Yep. Lay the groundwork.
We're going to learn 2 essential vocabulary words that are really key to the conversation we're about to hear, and we'll go slowly and clearly.
And explain the usage really deeply.
Our first word is food poisoning.
Food poisoning.
Yeah.
You can hear it, right?
Yeah.
Just 2 words put together. Food poisoning.
And as you can probably imagine, food poisoning is, it's absolutely not a good thing.
Not good at all. We are talking about being sick. It's a specific illness, and it happens when you eat bad food.
What do you mean by bad food? Like spoiled?
Exactly. Food that is spoiled, or maybe food that has harmful bacteria inside it. That bad food gets into your body, and, well, it makes you very, very sick.
That's right. So the key thing here is the cause. The sickness is caused by something wrong with the food itself.
Exactly. And if this happens, we use a specific verb phrase. You don't just say, I am food poisoning.
Right. That would sound a little strange.
The correct phrase is, I got food poisoning. We use the verb to get.
Let's just practice that sentence very slowly. I got food poisoning after eating the old salad.
And this is such an important phrase to know, especially if you're a traveler.
Oh, definitely.
If you ever need to explain to a doctor or a friend why you're sick, this phrase, I got food poisoning, it communicates the problem immediately. Everyone understands. The food was the issue.
So that's sickness caused by bad food in general. Now, let's look at our second essential word. It's also related to getting sick from food, but for a very different reason. The word is allergic.
Allergic. Listen to the sound there. Allergic. Allergic.
So how is this different from food poisoning?
Well, when you are allergic to something, it means that one specific thing, it could be type of food or maybe dust or even flowers, that single item always makes you sick.
I see. So that's the crucial distinction.
It is. Food poisoning comes from spoiled food. Anyone can get it.
Right.
But being allergic means your body, specifically, always reacts negatively to that one thing, even if the food is perfectly fresh.
And when it comes to food, there are some very common allergies, aren't there?
Well, many. For example, some people are allergic to seafood.
And this can be extremely serious,
Extremely. If they eat something like shrimp or lobster, they might even have trouble breathing.
which is why in American restaurants, you will almost always be asked if you have any allergies. It's a serious health risk.
It is. Other common examples. Well, people can be allergic to nuts like peanuts.
Right. Or sometimes people are allergic to dairy products, things like milk or cheese.
Okay, so to summarize it really clearly for our learners, if your body always reacts badly to one specific type of food, no matter what,
Then you're allergic to that food.
and the grammar is different here too. We use the verb to be.
Yes, I am allergic to nuts, not I got allergic.
I am allergic.
That's right.
These two words, food poisoning and allergic, they are so crucial, not just for understanding the dialogue we're about to hear, but for, communicating clearly about your health and safety.
Absolutely. Life-saving words sometimes.
Okay, now that we have those two words firmly in our minds, I think we're ready to listen to the complete English situation.
Let's do it.
In this conversation, two people are trying to decide where to eat dinner in their neighborhood. But, well, they're having a little trouble agreeing on a place.
As people often do. Yes. Remember, for this first listen, we're going to read the dialogue slowly and clearly. Just listen for the main idea. Get the overall feeling in the conversation. Don't worry about every single word just yet.
Ready?
Ready.
Do you two have any plans for the evening?
We were thinking of checking out a restaurant in the neighborhood. Do you have any suggestions?
I know this really nice Italian place. The food is fantastic and the decor is beautiful. I'd recommend giving it a try.
Actually, I'm not all that crazy about Italian food. I'm in the mood for something a bit lighter.
In that case, I know a great little bistro. They make a really tasty seafood platter. The fish is outstanding.
It sounds fantastic, but I'm allergic to seafood.
Okay, well, let me think. Oh, I know this great little place. It's just a hole in the wall, but they do the most amazing sandwiches. You got to give them a try.
You took me there last time I visited, and I got food poisoning, remember?
Oh, wow.
Ha!
Not a successful conversation.
Not at all. That conversation was packed with interesting language, but man, what poor planning.
Yeah.
They went through 3 different recommendations, and every single one was rejected.
And for very practical reasons.
Uh-huh.
Not in the mood, a serious allergy.
And a past trauma involving food poisoning.
But this is exactly what happens in real life.
It is.
Not every suggestion is going to be perfect. So this dialogue is an excellent map of how native speakers navigate giving and rejecting suggestions politely.
Okay, so now we can really dive in and analyze how these phrases work.
Yes. We are now moving into our language takeaway section. This is really the heart of our deep dive.
Right.
We're going to identify the key phrases from that dialogue and focus on how they are actually used in real everyday communication. We'll analyze each one in depth.
And we'll pay a lot of attention to application. That's what's crucial for you if you're aiming for fluency.
Exactly.
So let's start with the first piece of natural informal language we heard right at the beginning.
Check out.
Check out.
It's a common phrase. It's used daily by native speakers.
We heard it in the line. We were thinking of checking out a restaurant in the neighborhood. So what does that mean in simple terms?
The simple, most common meaning of check out is just to look at or to go see something. It suggests a really casual visit.
Not a formal inspection.
No, not at all. And the reason this phrase is so important for you to learn is that it just sounds much more natural and casual than saying, we were thinking of visiting a restaurant.
Right. That sounds a bit stiff.
It does. Checking out is relaxed.
Let's just practice the pronunciation. It's what we call a phrasal verb, so the 2 words work together. Check out.
Check out. Now, let's practice it in different tenses because this is where learners can sometimes make mistakes.
Okay, good idea. So example 1, using the past tense, I might ask you, have you been to the new cafe next door?
And I could answer, yeah, I checked it out yesterday. The food was great.
So notice how the verb checked changes to the past tense, but the word out stays the same.
Right, I checked it out. It means I physically went to see the cafe yesterday.
Okay, example 2, using it as a direct suggestion, like, hey, check out my new car.
And here, check out just means look at my new car. It's an invitation,
A command almost.
A friendly one, yeah. Listen to the stress. Check out my car.
Okay, and example 3, talking about the future, I'm going to check out the new shopping mall this weekend.
So they're planning to go see the mall later. To summarize the application, Check out. It's just a very common, informal way to say look at or go see.
And it has that casual attitude.
Exactly. Use it when you're talking about visiting new places or looking at new things.
That makes it very clear. Okay, let's move on to the second word from the dialogue. Beastro.
Bistro.
The speaker said, in that case, I know a great little bistro. What exactly is a bistro?
Bistro describes a specific type of restaurant, and understanding this word tells you a lot about the atmosphere. It's usually a small, informal restaurant.
And the idea comes from France, right?
It does, originally. So when you hear the word bistro, what should you expect? You should expect a comfortable, kind of cozy atmosphere.
Okay. And the price is important, too. A bistro is generally not cheap like a fast food place.
Right.
But it's also not a super expensive high-end restaurant. It's right in the middle. Good food, nice atmosphere, reasonable price.
So if someone suggests a bistro, they're suggesting a nice, pleasant, relaxed kind of meal.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Okay, now for the key phrase, the one we promised at the beginning. This is one of the most useful, polite phrases in this entire dialogue.
It really is. The phrase is not all that crazy about.
Not all that crazy about. This is so critical for smooth social interaction in English.
Absolutely.
The speaker used this phrase when they were asked to eat Italian food. They said, actually, I'm not all that crazy about Italian food.
And this is just the standard, polite way of saying you don't like something.
So why do we need to be polite here? Why not just say, I hate Italian food?
Well, in many English-speaking cultures, especially in the U.S., being too direct like that can sound, well, rude.
Yeah, a bit aggressive. Even with friends, it can be a little confrontational.
Yeah.
You want to soften the rejection.
So the phrase, I'm not all that crazy about, acts like a cushion.
Exactly. It tells the other person, no thank you, but it says it very gently.
Let's look at how you can use this when you're stating your preferences. Listen to the structure here.
Okay.
Example 1. Someone asks, do you want to go to the beach tomorrow? It's supposed to be really hot.
And you can answer, I'm not all that crazy about the heat. I get sunburned easily.
See? They state their dislike the heat, but they do it gently before giving a reason. They avoid, I hate the heat.
Right. It's much softer.
Okay, example 2, with music. I'm not crazy about country music. Can we change the station?
And that's a great example because we often shorten it slightly.
Right, just to not crazy about.
We drop all that. And it's also perfectly natural. The meaning is exactly the same. You're politely saying you don't want something.
So if you can master this one phrase, you will sound so much more polite and natural.
It's a game changer for conversation.
Definitely. Now let's talk about the opposite feeling. When you really do like something, we use the word tasty.
Tasty. Simple, useful, and used all the time.
In the dialogue, the speaker said the bistro made a really tasty seafood platter.
When something is tasty, it just means it's good. It means it's delicious. But there's a critical note here for our learners.
What's that?
In casual, everyday American English, native speakers almost never say the full sentence, the food is delicious.
That's so true. We tend to save the word delicious for, I don't know, more formal situations.
Exactly. Like writing a restaurant review, or maybe talking to the chef at a really expensive restaurant.
But in conversation with friends.
We almost always say, it's really tasty, or just, this is so good. If you want to sound natural, use the word tasty. It's the casual version of delicious.
That's a great tip. Okay, and finally, our last phrase for this section, in the mood for.
In the mood for. This is such a powerful phrase because it communicates your emotional state and what you want right now.
The speaker used this phrase to explain why they didn't want Italian food. They said, I'm in the mood for something a bit lighter. What does this tell us?
It means you want to do or eat or watch something right now. You feel like doing it at this moment. It clearly states your immediate specific desire.
So you're announcing your current preference.
Exactly.
Let's listen to a couple of examples to see how it's used.
Good idea.
Example 1. We always eat the same thing for lunch. I'm in the mood for something different today.
So the speaker here wants a change. They're stating their current desire for something new.
Okay, example 2, about an activity. I know it's raining, but I am in the mood for a long walk outside.
See, it communicates their desire even if the situation isn't perfect for it. They're expressing an internal feeling.
And we also have to remember the negative form,
Of course. I am not in the mood for a horror movie.
which means you really don't want to see one right now.
Exactly. You wish to avoid it.
Okay, that's 5 excellent, essential phrases we've covered. We've got checkout, bistro, not all that crazy about.
Tasty, and in the mood for. And we've really taken the time to analyze the usage, the grammar, and the social context for each one.
And this feels like the perfect moment to revisit the dialogue one more time.
Yes. Listen carefully for these 5 new phrases. Your understanding should be much, much deeper now.
Let's listen.
Do you two have any plans for the evening?
We were thinking of checking out a restaurant in the neighborhood. Do you have any suggestions?
I know this really nice Italian place. The food is fantastic, and the decor is beautiful. I'd recommend giving it a try.
Actually, I'm not all that crazy about Italian food. I'm in the mood for something a bit lighter.
In that case, I know a great little bistro. They make a really tasty seafood platter. The fish is outstanding.
It sounds fantastic, but I'm allergic to seafood.
Okay, well, let me think. Oh, I know this great little place that's just a hole in the wall, but they do the most amazing sandwiches. You got to give them a try.
You took me there last time I visited, and I got food poisoning, remember? So much better the second time around. Now we're really ready to move from just understanding the phrases to building the actual mechanics of a fluent conversation.
I agree.
So we've got the phrases down, but how do we make them sound truly natural? This is our fluency builder section.
Right, where we focus on the specific phrases used for the core action, asking for and giving suggestions. We want to make sure you have a versatile toolbox for this.
Let's start with how to ask for a suggestion.
Okay. In the dialogue, we heard the standard, most common phrase used every day. Do you have any suggestions?
This is the foundation. It's direct, it's polite, it's, universally understood.
But we want you to sound dynamic, so we should provide a couple of useful alternatives that native speakers use all the time.
So instead of, do you have any suggestions? You could also say, do you have any ideas?
I like that one. It implies you're looking for more creative solutions, maybe.
Right. Or you might hear, do you have any thoughts?
And that one's often used when the topic is a little more complex. You're asking the person to really consider the problem.
But all 3 of them, suggestions, ideas, and thoughts, they all work perfectly to ask for a recommendation. Okay, now, when someone asks for a suggestion, we need to know how to give one.
And we heard 2 extremely useful phrases in the dialogue that convey confidence in your recommendation.
The first one was, I'd recommend giving it a try.
Listen to that emphasis there. I'd recommend. This phrase is professional, but it's also friendly.
It tells the listener, based on my experience, I think this is a good idea and you should try it.
And the second phrase was even stronger. It implies a lot of enthusiasm.
Oh, yeah. You've got to give them a try.
When you use you got to, you are not just recommending, you are strongly urging them.
It basically means you absolutely must try this because I know you're going to love it.
Exactly. Both phrases are perfect for suggesting something, but they contain the most important fluency hurdle we need to address now.
And that is?
The importance of contractions and natural pronunciation.
This is where the deep dive really begins, I think.
It is. If you're a beginner learner, you often learn the full, formal sentence structure.
I would recommend. You have got to.
Exactly. But then you hear a native speaker, and you struggle to understand because the sounds are all pushed together.
They're condensed.
That is the nature of spoken American English. We use contractions to save time. Let's look at that first recommendation phrase. I would recommend. We don't really say it like that.
We use the contraction. The contraction for I would is I'd.
Yes, I'd. And the way we pronounce it is just one single sound. We blend the I with a soft D. I'd recommend.
Let's practice just that sound. Listen for that subtle D. I'd.
It sounds so much more professional, natural, and efficient. If you say, I would recommend, people will understand you, of course.
But if you want to sound natural,
use I'd.
Now, let's look at the second phrase, which is, I think, more challenging because it has multiple reductions.
Right. The full version is, you have got to give them a try. That's very long.
It is. In real-life speed, that sentence is just too slow. It gets shortened a lot in everyday speech.
We shorten you have got to say you got to.
You got to. Notice how the word have just, it disappears completely.
It's understood, but it's not spoken.
Now, let's go even deeper into what happens in fast speech.
Okay. When the phrase is spoken quickly, that T sound in got to often turns into a softer, fast D sound. This is called the flapping T in American English.
So you got to often sounds like you got it.
Exactly. You gotta. The to reduces to an sound. Listen to the difference.
The formal structure. You've got to give them a try.
The casual contraction. You got to give them a try.
And the fast, natural reduction. You got to give them a try.
If you can practice pushing those sounds together like that, If you could use these contractions, you will sound so much more like a native speaker.
And more importantly, your ear will immediately get better at listening to American movies or TV shows.
That's the real key.
Yeah.
It improves your listening comprehension so much.
Let's practice that full reduced sentence a few times, slowly. You gotta give 'em a try.
Again, you gotta give them a try.
Learning these contractions isn't just about sounding natural. It is about significantly improving your ability to understand native English conversation.
It's a huge step forward.
That deep dive into the phonetics is so essential. Okay, now that we've covered the vocabulary, the key phrases, and the critical contractions, let's move to our final section.
All right.
It's all about descriptive language and context.
Okay, we have built up a lot of knowledge now.
We have, so we're going to listen to the dialogue one final time.
And this time, listen specifically for the contractions. The I'd and the, you got it. Try to identify every new phrase and every descriptive word you've learned.
Here we go.
Do you two have any plans for the evening?
We were thinking of checking out a restaurant in the neighborhood. Do you have any suggestions?
I know this really nice Italian place. The food is fantastic and the decor is beautiful. I recommend giving it a try.
Actually, I'm not all that crazy about Italian food. I'm in the mood for something a bit lighter.
In that case, I know a great little bistro. They make a really tasty seafood platter. The fish is outstanding.
It sounds fantastic, but I'm allergic to seafood.
Okay, well, let me think. Oh, I know this great little place. It's just a hole in the wall, but they do the most amazing sandwiches. You got to give them a try.
You took me there last time I visited, and I got food poisoning, remember?
That reading was so much richer now that we understand all the little pieces.
It really was. So before we finish, let's just solidify that descriptive vocabulary. These are the adjectives the speakers use to give, texture to their recommendations.
Right. The words that paint a picture.
Let's look at the vocabulary of praise first. We heard several words that mean very good.
The first descriptive word was fantastic. The food is fantastic.
And fantastic just means extremely good. It's a really enthusiastic word. It's much stronger than just tasty.
It is. And then the fish was described as outstanding.
Outstanding is another really powerful adjective. It means excellent or, superior in quality.
You can almost think of it like a scale.
Oh, that's a good way to think about it.
Yeah, you might start with good, then move up to tasty, then maybe fantastic. And if it's truly special, you call it outstanding.
Mastering those different shades of meaning lets you communicate exactly how much you enjoyed something.
Mm-hmm. Next, the speaker also mentioned the appearance of the restaurant. They said, the decor is beautiful.
And decor just means decoration. It's the physical appearance, the style, the furniture inside the restaurant.
If the decor is beautiful, it's a nice place to sit and eat. It adds to the experience.
Okay, now let's look at the descriptive words used when rejecting food. The person who didn't want Italian food said they were in the mood for something a bit lighter.
And light, in this context, is all about the feeling after you eat. Light food isn't heavy on your stomach.
It's easy to digest, like a salad or maybe grilled fish.
Right. And the opposite of light food is heavy food.
Like a big pasta dish with cream sauce.
Exactly. Heavy food is often rich, made with a lot of cream, butter, or fried ingredients. If you're not super hungry, you're in the mood for something lighter.
And finally, that last place recommended was described using a wonderful idiom.
I love this one. Just a hole in the wall.
This is an idiom you really must learn to sound natural. What is a hole in the wall?
A hole in the wall refers to a very small, unpretentious, usually cheap restaurant or bar.
And crucially, a hole in the wall implies that the place does not look fancy or beautiful.
Right. The decor is probably nothing special.
But the food itself is often excellent.
And this phrase carries a really powerful cultural meaning of authenticity over appearance.
That's a great way to put it.
If someone recommends a hole in the wall, they're basically saying, ignore how it looks.
Yeah.
Trust me, this is a secret spot and the food is amazing. It's very high praise for the cooking itself.
That is a deep analysis of all the specific vocabulary. Now let's just circle back to the start and remind ourselves of those two critical safety words.
Allergic and food poisoning.
Because understanding these is not theoretical. It is highly practical, especially when you're traveling.
It really is.
Speaking of food poisoning, that actually reminds me of a terrible story that perfectly illustrates why this vocabulary is so important when you're abroad.
Oh, this is the practical context we need. And hopefully it's a warning for our listeners to avoid this experience.
Well, I was traveling in a country years ago. It was a very, very hot day, and I drank some fresh orange juice from a street vendor.
Sounds delicious. Or, as we learned, very tasty.
Exactly. I thought, what a treat. I thought it was a perfect light refreshment.
Sure.
But then I got on a bus for a very long ride, and about an hour into the journey, I suddenly started to feel really sick.
Oh, no. That is the worst possible place to get sick. On a
It
bus.
was terrible. I mean, really, really unhappy. I had that intense, sudden feeling of sickness, and I realized I had food poisoning. I was just completely miserable.
I can't imagine.
And this story connects directly to what you mentioned about traveling. Often, it isn't the food itself, but how it was prepared.
Right. It could be the water used to wash the food or how the ice was made. That's where the bacteria comes from.
Absolutely. The main takeaway for you, our listeners, is that if you find yourself in that terrible situation, the ability to clearly say, I got food poisoning, or I am allergic to peanuts, please be careful, is essential.
It's essential for your immediate care and safety. And we sincerely hope you never need to use those phrases for yourself.
We do, but you must know them.
You must.
And that brings us to the close of this very practical deep dive. We have covered a huge amount of ground today.
We really have. We learned how to ask for suggestions using "Do you have any suggestions?" And we learned how to recommend something using "I'd recommend giving it a try."
We also learn that vital social skill of how to politely say you don't like something with, I'm not all that crazy about.
And how to state your current desire using "I'm in the mood for."
And we clarified all that essential vocabulary like allergic, food poisoning, and descriptive words like tasty and outstanding.
So now it is your turn to practice. We strongly encourage you to use these phrases immediately.
Yes, right now. Think about what you are in the mood for your next meal.
And try using the phrase, "I'm not all that crazy about," when turning down a bad imaginary suggestion from a friend. Practice makes perfect.
It does. And if you have your own travel stories or if you have questions about any of the vocabulary or contractions we covered,
We invite you to share them at our website, englishpod.com. We'll be there to answer all your comments and questions about these essential phrases.
and here's a final provocative thought for you to carry into your day. It connects back to fluency and natural speech.
Okay.
If you practice using those simple contractions, and especially the reduced form, you gotta, just today, you will immediately notice an improvement in your ability to understand native English conversation.
That small change will make a huge, tangible difference in your fluency journey.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Native Ear.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive lesson.
Goodbye.